George Orwell. A name that resonates through the corridors of time, echoing with the weight of his profound insights and stark warnings. Just his name makes us think of scary futures and important warnings. His vision of a dystopian future where freedom is a distant memory and truth is constantly manipulated continues to haunt our collective consciousness. If you are new here, I'm Kelvin Yassi, an author and books lover. Subscribe to my channel. His books like 1984 Inches and Animal Farm are super famous and important. They are not just stories, but powerful commentaries on the human condition and the perils of unchecked power. They remind us about the dangers of governments having too much power. Orwell's portrayal of totalitarian regimes serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of our freedoms. Orwell's writing is still important today. In a world where misinformation and surveillance are rampant, his work is more relevant than ever. It helps us look at our own world in a new way. His insights compel us to question the status quo and to seek the truth amidst the noise. Orwell wrote in a very clear and simple style. His straightforward prose makes complex ideas accessible to everyone, ensuring his messages are understood by all. He wasn't afraid to talk about tough stuff. From the corruption of power to the erosion of individual freedoms, Orwell tackled the most challenging issues head-on. His writing is powerful and makes us think about power, control, and how easy it is to lose our freedom. Orwell really understood people. He delved deep into the human psyche, exploring our capacity for both good and evil. He knew we could be good and bad. His characters often reflect this duality, showing us the complexities of human nature. His books show us how important it is to do what's right and to fight against anyone who tries to stop us from being free. They inspire us to stand up for our rights and to challenge oppression in all its forms. We need to remember what he taught us. His lessons are timeless, urging us to remain vigilant and to cherish our freedoms. His work reminds us to always protect our freedom and the truth. In a world constantly changing, Orwell's legacy endures, guiding us towards a future where liberty and truth prevail. Eric Arthur Blair, the guy who became George Orwell, was born in India in 1903. Growing up, he saw a lot of unfairness. He saw how badly the British treated people in India. That really changed how he saw the world. Orwell went to a fancy school called Eton. There he saw how British society was all about who was higher up than who. He felt like he didn't belong and noticed how power worked. He started to question people in charge. Later, Orwell was a policeman in Burma. That experience made him hate how empires take advantage of people. He saw how power makes people bad and how it hurts those who don't have any. These experiences helped Orwell understand power and how it can be misused. They inspired his famous books and made him a really important writer. Orwell's experiences taught him about totalitarianism. That's when the government controls everything. It tries to tell people what to do and think in every part of their lives. Orwell shows us a scary place called Oceania. It's ruled by Big Brother, who's always watching and controlling everyone with cameras, propaganda, and fear. Is a story about animals who get rid of the humans who were mean to them. But then the pigs take over and become just as bad. Both books show how tricky totalitarian governments can be. They promise safety and fairness, but they take away freedom, truth, and even the ability to think for yourself. Orwell's message is simple. Totalitarianism is dangerous. It's bad for everyone, and we need to stop it. Orwell's books are all about the fight between a person and the government. Totalitarian governments try to crush individual people. They want everyone to obey without thinking. Winston Smith, the main character fights against this. He wants truth and love in a world where those are not allowed. Even though he loses in the end, his fight shows us how strong the human spirit can be. Orwell believed it was important for people to think for themselves. He knew that real freedom means being able to think critically, question people in charge, and say what you believe. If we don't have those freedoms, we're just robots. We lose what makes us human. Orwell reminds us that we need to protect our right to think, speak, and live how we want. Section 5, Twisting the Truth. Throughout history, the manipulation of truth has been a powerful tool in the hands of those who seek control. Orwell knew how powerful words can be. He understood that language shapes our reality and can be used to manipulate our perceptions. He saw how they could be used to trick and control people. Political leaders and regimes have long used rhetoric to sway public opinion and maintain power. Totalitarian governments are good at changing the truth. They rewrite history, suppress dissent, and create a narrative that serves their interests. They use propaganda, censorship, and make up their own version of reality. By controlling the flow of information, they can shape the beliefs and behaviors of their citizens. In Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984, the party controls information with the Ministry of Truth, which actually spreads lies and changes history. It's a scary example of how words can be used as weapons. The destruction of knowledge and the manipulation of facts can lead to a society where people are unable to trust their own perceptions. Orwell knew that truth isn't always simple. He recognized that truth can be complex and multifaceted, often seen from different perspectives. It can be seen in different ways. Different people and cultures may interpret the same events differently, leading to a variety of truths. But he also believed in facts. Despite the complexities, Orwell believed that objective facts and evidence are crucial for understanding the world. When the truth is always being changed, it's hard to think clearly and make good decisions. The constant bombardment of conflicting information can lead to confusion and mistrust. What Orwell said about twisting the truth is super important today. In our modern world, the distortion of truth is more relevant than ever. With fake news and social media, we need to be careful about what we believe. The rapid spread of misinformation can have serious consequences for society. We should question everything we read and hear and try to see different points of view. By critically evaluating information and seeking out diverse perspectives, we can better understand the world around us and protect ourselves from manipulation. Section 6. Controlling language. In George Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984, the party tries to control what people think by using newspeak. Newspeak is a simplified language designed to limit the range of thought. It's a simple language meant to stop people from having complicated thoughts or saying anything against the government. By reducing the number of words, the party aims to eliminate any possibility of rebellious thoughts. It's a form of linguistic control that ensures people can't even conceive of dissent. By making fewer words, the party wants to get rid of any ideas that could threaten its power. The fewer the words, the fewer the thoughts that can be formed. Orwell knew that language affects how we think. He understood that if you control the language, you control the mind. If we don't have the words to explain big ideas, we can't think clearly. Our ability to reason and question is diminished. Then it's easier for others to trick and control us. Without the language to articulate our thoughts, we become puppets, easily manipulated. We can see newspeak today when people try to control what words others can use. This isn't just a fictional concept, it's happening in our world. Think about politically correct language and rules about what you can say online. These modern forms of newspeak can limit our freedom of expression. Even though these things might start with good intentions, they can be bad. Censorship, even with good intentions, can lead to a slippery slope of control. They can stop people from discussing things and sharing ideas. When language is restricted, open dialogue and debate are stifled. Orwell's message is important. We need to protect our ability to use language and talk freely. Freedom of speech is a cornerstone of a free society. Language helps us think, and thinking helps us stay free. The power of words is immense, and we must safeguard it to ensure our freedom. Section 7. Orwell's Ideas in Today's World. Orwell's scary stories about the future don't seem so far-fetched now. We live in a time with amazing technology, but it also means more ways to watch us, collect information about us, and control us. Governments and companies collect tons of information about what we do online, where we go, and even what we think. Facial recognition technology means cameras can track us everywhere. The computer programs that choose what we see online can trap us in echo chambers, where we only hear things we already agree with. While technology can be helpful and safe, it can also be dangerous for our privacy and freedom. Orwell's warnings about too much government power and losing our privacy are really important today. Section 8. Why critical thinking matters. Even with all these challenges, Orwell's message gives us hope. He believed that thinking critically can fight tyranny. By questioning authority, challenging what we're told, and having smart conversations, we can stop people from controlling our minds and lives. Orwell believed in honesty and independent thought. He knew that real progress happens when we question what we believe, talk about difficult things, and have open discussions. Education is really important for teaching people how to think critically. If we teach students how to analyze information, check if sources are good and build strong arguments, they can become smart and active citizens. Section 9, Protecting Freedom in the Digital Age. The fight for freedom today is a fight for our minds. We need to stop people from tricking us, controlling what information we see, and limiting our freedom of speech. This means we always have to pay attention, think critically, and speak up when things are unfair. We need to demand that our leaders be honest, make sure companies do the right thing, and teach ourselves and others about threats to our freedoms. Orwell's work reminds us that we can change the future. We can make it better by making good choices and taking action. If we value honesty, freedom, and critical thinking, we can create a world where truth wins and everyone is treated with respect. Don't forget to subscribe to my Kelvin Jussi YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Like, share, and leave a comment.